going on, Raider Nation? I am Dan Domenic, Daniel's son. We're talking the Raiders. Oh, we're talking the Raiders. We're talking the Raiders. This is the basically my thoughts on the game. I'm not going to go stat for stat. I don't think we need to really see too much of the actual stats. There's other videos that can cover that. I'm just going to give you my overall, what I'm seeing from the Raiders for the second game and maybe in the future of this year. And if you saw my last video talking about the key elements of winning this game against the most favored of Buffalo Bills team against the Raiders, like we all knew that this had to be a perfect game for the Raiders to be competitive in here and to really just come out with the W. And I did think that we were going to lose to the Buffalo Bills, but I didn't think we were going to get I didn't think watching this game how pathetic the Raiders would be after the first drive, after the turnover from Jimmy Garoppolo. It was hard to watch. And there has been a lot of Raider games in the past couple years where it was hard to watch. I think one of the games absolutely had to be when the Raiders took on the Chicago Bears at Allegiant. And it was, I think after that game, that's when all the John Gruden stuff came out and how flat they played against the Bears, who we should have beat easily. This was another game where I was hoping to be a little bit competitive, that they're able to a lot of times play at a compatible, level as whoever they're playing against, and whether it be the Kansas City Chiefs, we're able to go toe to toe with them sometimes. So I thought we maybe have a chance at really balling out a little bit, maybe coming up, off short in this game. But man, oh my God. Let's talk about it, man. Jimmy G did not look good. Jimmy G did not look good in this game. There was a couple times I did see a lot of bright spots where he actually stepped up in the pocket, made some good throws, especially the throw to Adams, who had to basically change the kind of play that he was supposed to sit, but he ended up seeing Jimmy kind of scramble and then go up, and Jimmy just throws a floater, and it was just such a nice pass. But then there was times where Jimmy threw it to Adams and he absolutely got killed. There was some throws that could have been better and accurate with Jimmy G. And obviously, the deep ball is such an issue. If you don't, we are the Raiders. We are known to go for the big play, big time. That's what we do. With Jimmy, that's not going to happen. He could barely get it to 30 yards, if that. There was one to Trey Tucker, and Trey Tucker, we'll get to in a minute. There was one to Trey Tucker. I believe it was Trey Tucker or it was Devontae. I'm pretty sure it was Trey, where Jimmy threw it. If he threw it a little bit, had a little bit more air into it, a little bit more distance, I think Trey actually catches that with ease. Maybe goes to the house, but he definitely gets that ball easier than when he got it. And Jimmy didn't do it. Jimmy was short. Jimmy was very, very short. So I think it was Trey. It might have been Devontae, but boy, Jimmy, the first pick, I'm not going to blame it on Jimmy. Just like when Carr was playing last year, there were some picks that he did. I didn't blame on him. It was really either wide receivers not catching it good enough, but for Jimmy's interception, the first one, which was the most crucial one of the whole game, it was the offensive line's fault. It was them not giving them enough time to set up this play, them and him forcing it, hitting one of the linemen, and then Buffalo Bills just happened to be right there, one of the defenders, and gets the ball. The problem is the first drive was magnificent. Everything worked, everything clicked, looked great. The O was playing what we all thought they could play. Very, very, very quick throws, really, really accurate, great. Actually good play calling. And then Trey Tucker. I forgot about Trey Tucker. Since Jacoby Myers is out, I was hoping Hunter Renfrow would step up. But Trey Tucker, the run he did, and he looked just that one play, and just him going also for the deep ball. This guy has speed. This guy looks really, really, really good. He was not used really, really at all. But for that first drive, it was beautiful. Devontae doing his thing, getting in for the touchdown. That looked like a Raider offense I was super excited for. But after this Jimmy G interception, the whole momentum, the whole dynamic, the whole air got sucked out. The Raiders sucked after that. They were terrible after Jimmy G's interception. And that he didn't have just one, he had two today. The first one I won't give him, I'll say that wasn't his fault. The second one was absolutely his fault. This Jimmy G did not look crisp, did not look good. The really worrisome thing is it's true. He really cannot throw it down the field. He doesn't have a strong arm. I will say, even Gannon had that throw down the field, but I did love Gannon and his short passing and his really pinpoint passing as well, especially his sidearm. I think Jimmy could capitalize, use that as a strength, but it's going to be a really big problem when now in the NFL, it's such a high-powered offense. You need a quarterback to really throw it down the field. And this is a really, really bad sign going forward in the season. Let's go on to the coaching. The coaching absolutely got out-coached. Josh McDaniels, I think we all know, I think we all agree, if you're really a Raider fan, you hate this guy. This guy is Patriots all the way. This guy ruined the Denver Broncos. You knew him coming in here, having a team that he could actually build around and actually really succeed with, and then breaking that whole team because he just wanted to bring his own guys. I'm not saying it's a bad move to get rid of Carr, but I was saying it's a bad taste of what happened at the end with Carr. But not only that, you're not using Hunter Renfrow. That is all coaching too. There is plays designed for Hunter Renfrow, but this does not seem like it. If you have a great weapon like Hunter Renfrow, you get him the ball. You throw short passes, screens, whatever. There is plays on your best players to have them touch the ball. This never happened. Hunter Renfrow was absolutely not used until garbage time, and I think he had one catch. Why do we have Hunter if you're not either, one, going to cut him before the season start, or two, trade him for a much-needed defensive player? So, yes, Josh McDaniels, that is all on him as well. I don't know what is going on. I think Hunter Renfrow is in the doghouse. He's a Gruden guy, whatever. Josh McDaniels is not using one of the best weapons we have. I do like what I see in Trey Tucker, but Hunter Renfrow is seasoned already. He can get you those first downs. Absolutely, especially with Jimmy G throwing short passes. Who is the best at short passes at getting them? It's Hunter Renfrow. This was so frustrating all game, seeing number 13 going in motion, seeing him take a route, sometimes not being able to get free, but also getting free and not being utilized. I don't know if Jimmy G doesn't like the guy, but I'm pretty sure Josh McDaniels has something to do with it, because Hunter Renfrow would be getting catches, would be getting plays thrown his way if Josh McDaniels sees the talent in this guy. But Josh McDaniels' ego, this is the problem we all have with Josh McDaniels. His ego, his thinking that it's his way that's going to lead us to the promised land. What I saw out of this team, I think this is going to be huge going against the Pittsburgh Steelers, because if we lose against the Steelers, which is such a winnable game, you're going to see this team actually give up in the beginning of the season, because Max Crosby was absolutely frustrated. Devontae Adams takes his big hit. He wanted to go back in. He wanted to stay, but he was frustrated. When you have frustrated players and you're not winning and you're being demolished like that, this is recipe for disaster for the whole season. It's not all on Josh McDaniels, even though a lot of it is on Josh McDaniels and Ziegler, but also Patrick Graham. What are you doing? Why is the defense trash every year? Why are they not good? Why isn't there any more talented defenders? The linebacker crew, boy, I praise some of the things that the linebackers did against the Broncos, but boy, was it Spillane, whatever his goddamn name is, 41. Holy moly. He had a good game against the Broncos. He was calling a lot of good things. The Raiders missed tackles today. I said keys to win this matchup, you have to play a near perfect game. You have to tackle. You have to not allow the big plays. I didn't think that the Raiders would get run all over out of town with Cook. I didn't think Cook was going to kill us like that. There was so many missed tackles, not enough tackles wrapping up. It took me back to the early 2000s when guys were trying to tackle with their shoulder instead of wrapping up. And then when they did wrap up, they couldn't hold them. They couldn't get them down. Absolutely pathetic. The Raiders defense was absolute trash today. Even the offense was bad, but the Raiders defense, their efforts, their ability, their techniques was just so bad. But also for them to get prepared in this game by Patrick Graham is such a lousy defensive coordinator. All the hype getting this guy, excuse me, and him coming in for us, he has been, last season was bad. This season continues to go down the drain. Where is all our studs? Nate Hobbs, where are you? Max Crosby missed a lot of assignments. I also said keys to win this game was containment. I also said that if you allow Josh Allen time, he is going to blow you up. That's exactly what he did. Josh Allen had a day. He ate. He showed why the Bills and just him himself are Super Bowl caliber talent. Where is that talent on the Raiders? It was supposed to be Max Crosby. He did nothing today. He did not contain. He missed. I saw him miss a tackle. He was nowhere to be heard. The thing is, Mad Max has been such a great player for the Raiders. I'm going to cut him a little slack. I need to see what Wilson on the rookie side is going to do for us. Quiet. He was quiet. I was hoping because his first game was out of the books, that he would be a little bit better this game. No, he was not. He was absolutely not. Nobody was good on the defensive side. The plan, the strategy to hold the Bills, after that turnover, it was done. It was game over. The defense couldn't do nothing. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop the pass. Third down opportunities, once again, that the Raiders love to do, give a first down on third down opportunities where we should have sacked the quarterback. No pressure, not once did I think they were going to get Josh Allen down. There was one play where Josh Allen should have went down. He flicks it like a Patrick Mahomes type pass to get the first down. Stephon Diggs didn't even kill us as much. Gabriel Davis did, and Cook was cooking. He was killing us every run he was doing. He shouldn't have a game. He's not that great. He's good, but he shouldn't be making these big time numbers for a Raiders defense. We need a defensive tackle, for the love of God. We need defense. But what do? We go on the draft pick. We get Mayer. We get, who else did we get? We get Wilson. And Wilson has been absolutely not living to his end. The kid is a kid. I get that. We need to see he'll improve. But this is the game where he really needed to be hungry and really to need to go at it. We need cover guys. Morig was terrible once again. These draft picks, I was hoping they would pan out. It's not panning out. The only one that actually has been doing a great job is Nate Hobbs, even though he did get called on that penalty where he was holding. I thought it was a bang play, but I could see where the flag could be thrown at that. So Nate Hobbs got torched. Everybody got torched. Everybody were absolute losers in this game. If you are a Raider player and if you're a Raider fan, you don't want to see the Raiders go down this pathetic. Now, I'm going to address the elephant in the room because I don't know how this, if you're the Raiders Nation, I don't know how the Raider Nation became this, where there was a quarterback that played for our team and he was a role model citizen, and yet everybody split and still talking about him, even though he plays for another team. You know who I'm talking about? Derek Carr. We have Jimmy Garoppolo. He's definitely not the answer. He's not the answer, and I don't even think he's the answer now. I don't think he's going to lead us to a Super Bowl. That's the plan, right? To go to a Super Bowl. But I don't understand having comments and seeing everybody just talk about Carr when he doesn't play with us no more. Well, if Carr was in, I guess it wasn't Carr's fault. I don't care. I don't care who is under the center. I'm rooting for him. I said kudos to the Carr. Hope he does good. He was a role model. He was a great citizen. He was a great Raider. Always will be a Raider. We have Jimmy Garoppolo. I need to see what Jimmy could do. It didn't matter who was under center this game. I know a lot of people want O'Connell. I don't even think O'Connell was going to survive this. The Bills were hungry. They showed why they are always in the playoffs, and we are not. I want to see this kid O'Connell play eventually. I don't want him to be thrown into this dumpster fire. I want him to develop. Josh McDaniels is not the guy I would want him to. I don't care if they consider him offensive guru. I don't know how many times I've heard offensive guru or defensive guru, and they have their own team and just absolutely do nothing with it. There is a thing called, if you're a Super Bowl winning team, it takes all the pieces. It's just like a fucking great movie. It takes everybody's effort, even the producers, even the studio heads who are funding it, the director, the cinematographer, the composer. It takes everybody. It takes them listening to everybody's suggestions. And my suggestion is, Mark Davis, you need to fire Josh McDaniels. Mark Davis, you need to sell the team. That is never going to happen. You want to know what the number one problem is every fucking year for the Raiders? Is Mark Davis. And I gave him a shot. I said, you know what? He is the son of Al Davis. He's got the team. Let's see what he can do. He has done fucking nothing. Absolutely nothing. It makes me sick how we purchase, we buy, we bleed for the Raiders, whether it be Las Vegas, Los Angeles, or Oakland. And yet, after the 02-03 Super Bowl, we have been terrible. After the Rich Gannon injury, we have been terrible. We go to the playoffs against the Texans, yet we don't have Carr. Our starting quarterback play, unfortunately, gets injured. This is the one promising hope we have as a Raider fan. Then we suck. And then we suck. And then we go back to the playoffs, and we almost beat the Bengals, the team that went to the Super Bowl that year. And now we continue to once again rebuild, get new guys, get new coaches, get a new GM. We have not been fucking relevant. You know what hasn't been relevant? The Raiders defense. Why are we still a terrible defense? The identity of the Raiders, I believe, hasn't been the offense other than the Rich Gannon days. You could say the Snake, you could say Plunkett, you could say Marcus Allen. Yes, amazing offenses, amazing players, but our identity should be the defense. You know why we are called the Raiders and why everybody looks down on us? Is because our defense was not afraid. We'll fucking smack you in the mouth and they'll laugh. Yet every offensive coordinator is laughing at our ass, and they see us on the schedule and they say, that's a fucking win. That's 400 yards plus of offense. The Raiders have been terrible. Mark Davis, you could say Josh McDaniels. You could even say the whole fucking effort of the team. You could say Chandler Jones. You could say Jimmy G. You could say whoever you want to say. But it leads to one person, and that's Mark Davis. He is signing the checks. He is hiring the guys. And I'm so frustrated. I am absolutely frustrated, as every Raider fan should be frustrated. We go against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a game we should win. We should win that game. And I feel like every year I say this, and every year I'm like, well, we didn't win the game. Penalties, shooting ourselves in the foot, defense didn't come play, offense came to play. Now, offense didn't come play. Defense actually did okay. What's going to be, that's going to be the determining factor of the season. If we lose against the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm going to the Chargers and Raider game. We should beat Chargers. We always 1-1. We'll probably lose in SoFi. We'll win at Allegiant. The Pittsburgh Steelers game is going to determine whether we're going to be actually competitive going forward. If the team is actually going to give up or not. If we lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I will call it. We will give up. Players will not want to play for Josh McDaniels if we lose against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because guess what? If we lose to the Steelers and we lose to the Chargers, That's it. That's a wrap. Hate to say it, but I've seen the Raiders every single fucking year. That's how it goes. There was one year where they fought, they got lucky, and they won. But they fought. This year, I don't feel that way. This year's already started bad with Chandler Jones, and it's starting bad with Josh Jacobs not fucking getting anything going in the run game. The offensive line being shitting themselves week 2. No usage of talented players like Hunter Renfrow, and the defense continuing not to get better. It doesn't matter if we actually, go to the playoffs. Let's say we actually go to the playoffs. The Buffalo Bills are a team we're going to see at the playoffs. You could say, well, we could catch them off guard. The momentum going into the playoffs, depending on how we go into the playoffs, we could shock them. Yeah, we could. Fucking doubt it. I doubt it. I would doubt it. The Buffalo Bills are a way better team than with us. I showed. We need a lot of work. We need a lot of signings. And we need Josh McDaniels gone. We need Patrick Graham gone. So even if we go to the playoffs, that's the fucking team we need to beat. KC's the team we need to beat. We already know how Andy Reid thinks of us. A fucking joke. And I love Andy Reid as a coach. He's one of the greatest. I think he is the greatest coach. But I fucking hate him when he's doing trick shit like merry-go-round shit on us. But you know what? I can't hate him though. Because we don't stop it. We don't stop that stupid shit. And KC knows that. KC knows they could do whatever. And that sometimes we're competitive against them. The whole point of every season is not just to go to the playoffs. That is bullshit. That is a waste of my time. That's a waste of our lives. We have so much little time to live in this earth as a human being. I don't want to fucking go to the playoffs. I want to win the playoffs. I want to go to the fucking Super Bowl, and I don't want to be dismantled at the Super Bowl like what happened with Tampa Bay. I want to win the Super Bowl before I fucking die. That doesn't seem like it's going to happen anytime soon. So I better get healthy. I better stop drinking soda. I better be eating salads. Hell, I better look each side of the road, make sure no cars are going to hit me. Because the fucking Raiders, I guess it's a blessing, are making me trying to live longer to see if they could do something in the future. This is not a video of stats, of what happened during the game, a recap, none of that. This is me as a Raider fan, you as a Raider fan, listening to a Raider fan complain. But we have every right to complain. This is a frustrated Raider fan not understanding why we're so bad. We are the Raiders. We have a legacy of being the baddest motherfuckers on the field. This is nothing. This is nothing that's helping our legacy. Our legacy was back, I would say, early 2000s. Before that, of course, with our Super Bowl wins, with Al Davis's golden era. Not right now. And I don't know how long this is going to be. There's nothing I could tell you, recap, stats that you don't already know, that you haven't already experienced every year. Chalk it up, throw the shit out. Pittsburgh Steelers, Raiders versus Steelers, that's going to be the number one game. That's going to be the game to determine we go either fucking 2-1 or 1-2. That's going to determine whether the Raiders come and play or they don't for the rest of the season. Pickett should not be killing us. No. That Steeler team should not win. Thank you guys for listening. I'm Dan the Maniac, down the sun. Until next time, until we talk more Raiders. Try to have a good day. And let's move on to Steelers. Let's win. Just win, baby.